everyone, this is just a short vlog about Japan and software. I've been here for like 13 years now, and I have been teaching German to various people, let's just say. I mean the age. I am teaching at universities, I'm teaching adults and so forth. So I can really see a broad variety of people coming from different positions, different backgrounds, using devices and software. And if it comes to Japan, everyone thinks that yeah, Japan, it's really a developed country, which it is, yes. And one can imagine that people know how to use software, people know what opportunities they have, what choices they have. But in reality, it's very interesting for me because Japanese people usually know only one or two options that they can choose from. And let me tell you an example. If it comes to smartphones, Japanese people really like smartphones. Everything is based on smartphones. And the vast majority of people have an iPhone. If they can, they want to have always the newest. And that's fine, that's perfectly fine. iPhones are good. But they don't even consider looking at other options. And my problem is that people usually don't use their iPhone properly. I mean that they have like the best version that they can get, but they don't even know how to shot an ultra wide photo. They just have the iPhone and they pay this huge sum of money, which is actually worth it if you use the iPhone correctly, right? But they just don't. They just want to have it. And this is so interesting, especially among young people. And maybe this is the parents' fault, I don't know. Some people buy themselves their phones, so they just have a job, I don't know, a part-time job, and they earn money, they save it up, and they buy a phone. But usually it's just a present, you know, from the family. And actually I can see that in my classes I have like, I don't know, 40 people in a class, and like 38, 39 people have an iPhone. And I don't say that Android phones are better. I just would say that if you choose an Android phone, you might have maybe more options to choose from, to choose a phone that you actually can use for what that you want to use it for, right? So this is very interesting for me. The second is computers and laptops. Japanese people don't really like to use computers. I mean, they have to use it, but if they can, they want to have a smartphone or a phone or something which is way more convenient for them. And tablets are pretty popular nowadays, especially among students at the university. They just have an iPad, and it's really practical, and it's really fast to make notes and so forth. It's a great choice. It's an excellent choice if it comes to taking notes and so forth. But usually, you know, if I want to have homework done or something, I ask them to send me an email or something, or just, I don't know, create a file, a Word document or a PDF. And some people have even difficulties creating PDF files because they don't know that they can export or save it actually in that extension. So it's really interesting to see that in a highly developed country like Japan, people don't really know, not everyone of course, but most of the people don't really know how to use the basic software on their computer. And it can come to Excel or something, or other Office applications. And interestingly, although almost everyone has an iPhone, people usually tend to have a Windows computer. I've been here for 13 years, as I said, and I have never seen any Linux distro anywhere. I mean, of course, Android is Linux based, we know, and of course that stuff. But I have never seen a student or anyone who actually had any of the Linux distros, and there are tons and tons out there, really, and some of them are really easy to use. I don't say that I'm a Linux user. I have a Linux laptop. I have a laptop I installed Linux on, Zorin OS 16, and I have a flash drive with Tails on it, just for fun. You know, I don't really use it. I keep it updated. I configured it to my needs, but I just have fun with it at home and maybe in coffee shops or something. But that's something that I would consider to be geek. I mean, having Tails on a flash drive. So interestingly, iPhones and Windows computers. There are, of course, people with MacBooks, but I would say that the vast majority owns a Windows laptop or a Windows computer. And if it comes to software, it's very interesting because they use Windows, they automatically use Microsoft Office, which is fine. So I don't want to say that not free and open source software is bad. I just want to say that I would prefer that because, first of all, it's free of charge, and second, you know, if you are a little bit more privacy concerned, that you should choose free and open source software. But still, so they use Office, and they also use for messaging an application called Line, which is pretty much the app for them. If you want to chat with a Japanese person, it's going to be Line. I think it's South Korean, the software. And it's a fine application. I have it. I use it with my family. Japanese people are not really on Facebook, so they don't really use Facebook Messenger. They like to use Twitter and Instagram, but they don't really send you Instagram messages. If you are on Twitter, you have this Twitter app that you can share messages with each other. They use that one too. I am not on Twitter. I just know that that actually Japan has maybe the most Twitter users on the world if you compare it to the number of people living in the country. Most likely because it's anonym, so you don't have to use your real name in order to use Twitter. So as a teacher, I usually want to make, I mean, it's not good to have this kind of thinking, I guess, but if I know about something that it's maybe not better, but it's good, I think that I should say it. And although I am a German language teacher, there are tons and tons, and I mean, there are many chances to say or to tell something about different topics, different than German, right? Someone asks me how they can, I don't know, send me a PDF file or something, how they can edit a PDF file or something, because they know that, because they see, as I use the computer in my classes, they see that I'm no noob. So I'm pretty fast, and I use very many keyboard shortcuts, and it's really swift and fast how I am teaching, although I'm not on that level, you know, on that geek level, but I'm usually way better than an average person if it comes to efficient use of computers. And so they asked me questions, and in the beginning, as I was in Japan, I didn't understand that I shouldn't tell them that you should use this software, you should use this software. I just have to tell them what they have to do with their setup that they already have. So if they ask me how they can export a PDF file, I just look at their computer and I see that's a Windows computer and they have Microsoft Word installed on it, and I can just say that you can print it like Microsoft Print to PDF, and that's it. So that's what they want to know. And my personal mission, you know, to free and open source software, it's it's not their concern. They don't care. Still, I see, and I'm a little bit disappointed that Japanese people, most of the Japanese people are really, they have a horizon really narrowed down to I don't know, to a couple, really just a couple of pieces of software. And I came up with a way to make them aware of free and open source software by really sneaking these pieces of information into my classes. And I know it's a sneaky way, and one should not do that, but I don't force anything. The other day I wore, for example, a t-shirt with DuckDuckGo on it, and some of them check it out, what that is. That's a privacy focused search engine. By the way, if you want to use it correctly, you should install the Chrome extension. That's how it works properly. Or I always use Brave browser, so they can see this Brave stuff always, this lion, and some of them ask, what's with the lion? They know Opera, they know, I don't know, Microsoft Edge, they know all the or Google Chrome, for instance, or Firefox. And I tell them that that's like Google Chrome, because it's based on the Chromium engine, but it's a little bit more privacy focused. So I don't tell them immediately that yes, if you have Brave, you can just use, I don't know, Alt, Shift, and N, and you can open up a private window with Tor configured in it, because that would be like an insane amount of thing that I have to explain. And I just said it's just free of charge, you can just try it. And I don't tell them that they can earn some money with with the ads and so forth. Brave is complicated, but Brave is a reliable browser that I have been using for the last, I don't know, 6-7 years at least, and I'm really happy with it. Or so they can see that. And also Brave has now the option to create immediate QR codes. Microsoft Edge has this as well, and the QR code has the Brave logo in it. So every time I send a QR code, or every time I show them a QR code, which is actually a lot of times because I have special links that I want to share with them. I use digital media in my classes, so they always have to scan a QR code and then do some task and so forth, and it's always a Brave one. And some of them just ask, because they are curious, what's with the lion? Or what I do is I use LibreOffice. I don't have I have a Windows PC, a Windows laptop for my classes, because it's faster. It's the newer one that I have. And I use LibreOffice on it. I bought it actually without MS Office because I don't want to pay if I have an alternative. And they see, every time I start it, they see LibreOffice, and I always send them the documents in an ODT format, so that they can just wonder, what's ODT. Some of them see that, and they can still open it. Because most of the, of course, Microsoft Word, but also in the internet, and if you want to open it in Dropbox, for example, I send a Dropbox link, and they open it up, and it's ODT, and they can see, and everything is fine. And some of them ask, what's ODT? And this is how I actually use these sneaky ways to make them aware of free and open source software. And some of them ask a little bit further, and I just send them other links. I have a Telegram channel for people who want to learn or study German. It's not much, but sometimes I would just, in other classes or other institutions, we have Moodle, which is also open source, as a homepage, to make various reports and so forth. And I just embed one of my Telegram posts here we talked about this in the lesson. I actually have a post, or I have a blog, something on Telegraph or something, and I can just link it or embed. Embedding is the best actually, because they just wonder what's that, and it looks cool, and they just click on it. And the thing is, for example, with Telegram channels, is that you can also watch it in your browser. You don't have to have the application. For most of the features you do, but if it's just text, you can just look at it, and they can just take a look at it. They can see, oh, that's nice, and what's up with Telegram? So I don't say that Telegram is the best. I just say that that's an option which is free and which is open source. And usually, if they ask me a little bit more, I would tell them that, by the way, it's not only free, it's also open source. And then, of course, they ask me what's open source, and then you can tell them what that means and why that is important, just in 1 or 2 sentences, never more. And they don't usually care about that. But I always want to emphasize that if it's an open source piece of software, then it's usually not, the chances are not so high that you are being tracked. And that's actually what really works, because people are afraid of being tracked. They look at China, they look at other countries, and they know that we are being tracked. So big data and so forth, they know how Facebook and Google and so forth tracks us, and it's not necessarily bad, they do it for profit, and we do it because they have awesome products and everything is free. But on the other hand, it's an invasion on our privacy. And this is actually how I do it in Japan, and it works. I just send them. I have a YouTube channel, right? And every video of me is on Odyssey, and I don't care about my view count or I am in the creator program, and I earn like, I don't know, $2 or $1, maybe $1 a month. It's nothing. So I don't lose actually much money if I send them an alternative video via Odyssey, right? So this is what I do, and I really enjoy doing it. I can see how I can how people start to think, and oh, there are other ways, there are other chat applications, and if they want to know more, you can give them more and more. There was this girl in my class, she was the only one with an Android phone, and I told them that it is possible to view YouTube videos if you have an Android phone via an app called NewPipe, right? You have to install F-Droid for that, and you have to install NewPipe for it. So it's a little bit difficult because you have to, of course, allow external sources and so forth, but it's pretty straightforward, and it's on the page. And F-Droid and also NewPipe are in Japanese as well. So I just told her, and I gave her some instructions, and she did it. She did it actually in the break time, and she was really happy. She keeps telling me every now and then that it was so good because she's listening to music all the time. And with NewPipe, you have the option, maybe with YouTube too, I don't know, that you can just close, or you can just shut off the display. You can just close the phone or something, and it keeps rolling only the audio of it. So it's excellent for podcasts and so forth, and you don't have ads, right? So you can really listen to music for hours or something, and I really like it. I actually use it on a daily basis, and I'm really happy with it. So this is so good to see. And if you have F-Droid, they just say, what's F-Droid? And you can just tell them that there are actually other applications that you can install, and then it's not so easy to track what you are actually doing with that app. And some of them are happy with it, and I'm happy too. So anyways, this is what I wanted to say. It's a little bit long, way longer than I expected, but anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.